we'll just start. Thank you everyone for joining in, and special shout out to those who joined in early. Each time this happens, I always feel like I should just do something special for our early joiners. So I'm thinking that maybe going into next year, can you see me please? I just realized my video was off
Yes, we can see you
and you can hear me.
clearly.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So I was saying, I was thinking that going into next year, we'll have something special for those who join 30 minutes with the time, like repeatedly, like for 4 straight editions. If you join early, 30 minutes, you get something from drugstore clinic. So that's something that we're going to look into next year. So we are going right into it. I am really excited to be here. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the Drugstore Clinic November webinar. My name is Pharmacist Onyinye. I'm the Communications Manager for Drugstore, and as always, I am delighted to be your host for this session. And as usual, it promises to be super engaging, insightful, and really enlightening because of the nature of the topic. It's a topic that, I'm sure that every one of us that own pharmacy or healthcare businesses, whether it's a hospital, a pharmacy, a clinic, or even if you are the supply chain pharmacist in like a federal or in a big healthcare facility, it's something that is coming up to be a glaring problem, integrating digital into operations, whether it's for inventory or patient management. There are a lot of digital tools coming up now that I'm sure that many of us know about. And how can we successfully integrate it continuously so it's not like a flash in the pan kind of thing? That's what is part of what we are going to be discussing here. And because we know that people like to deal with facts, like who do you know has used this before? So we have someone, I introduced her in the email conversations, I introduced her as our role model for anything digital operations. And as we go on in the session, you will really understand why I um I identified her as a role model for us. So, like I said, it's going to be engaging. The Drugstock Learning webinar is part of Drugstock. So, as a lot of us know, or some of us know, Drugstock is a tech-enabled pharmaceutical distribution company on a mission to empower healthcare providers. And, we have different products, both tech and all of that. We have our Drugstock e-commerce app where healthcare providers can easily order for medications. And then the Drugstock Learning is one of the ways that we empower clients. So when I think about empowerment, I remember when I first, like all those years ago, when I first finished pharmacy school, and then I did my NYC. There was when I did community practice after pharmacy school, as just as an intern sort of. But then after I finished my NYC and then people could call me pharmacist, I felt this sense of, man, I'm a pharmacist. What I'm telling you is the facts. There was this empowerment, and that's what Drugstock wants to imbibe or imbue in healthcare providers. That feeling of, yes, I got this. And that is how we do it in many of our products that are available. The Drugstore Learning Pedometer, a lot of us know Pedometer. At the conference, we made a lot of noise, and the app for easy access to pharmaceuticals. So that is about Drugstock, and Drugstock Learning, like I said, is part of Drugstock. This is how we now empower healthcare providers by sharing and bringing up insights like on trending issues, because we know that many of these things, they have to be said. We need to have this conversation, so we bring them up and then we address them. So today we are going to continue exploring the theme of collaboration in healthcare. We said that 2 months ago. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So collaboration is key. The concept of collaboration is one that I think will even run across throughout, like for the better part of next year as well, because this is a time for healthcare providers to collaborate within like ourselves and even externally with third party organizations. So our topic for this session is similar digital integration, driving operational excellence and long-term growth for pharmacies. In this session, we'll discuss how digital tools can help pharmacies achieve operational excellence through teamwork and commitment. Taking insight now, collaboration within healthcare teams, collaboration within your teams in your pharmacy, in your hospital, and all of that. So we have three amazing speakers joining us today. I'm going to introduce them right now. We have pharmacist Olajumoke Balogun. She is the MD and CEO of Habibi Pharmacy. She's a seasoned community pharmacist who has firsthand experience with digital transformation in her practice. So she has been in this community pharmacy business for over 16 years now. So she has experienced the pre-digital and post-digital era, and she's going to now tell us how she was able to integrate excellently, despite it being all new and fresh for her. She'll also share how Pedometer particularly has improved her pharmacy operations and how her team has successfully integrated Pedometer into their operations. Next, we have pharmacist Femi Adekunle. He is the MD and CEO of Mediglo Pharmacy. Pharmacist Femi is a pharmacist with extensive expertise in healthcare technology. In fact, I call him the tech bro pharmacist because he's like a serial tech entrepreneur with a lot of tech products, in his record. So he's going to be telling us firsthand how the impact of digital in our everyday operation. So as someone who even produces digital tools as well, is going to let us know the things that we can do for long-term growth. And then he will provide insight into how pharmacists can effectively embrace digital tools. Finally, we have Maximilian Sukoku. Max is a tech support expert, and he is the tech product specialist in drug stock. Max is going to present a brief demo on Pilometer. So, like I said, at the recently concluded PSN conference where we showcased Pilometer, a lot of people were interested in it and, booked demos and all of that. And then we also know that a number of pharmacists also were not able to book demos or were not able to interact with us at the conference. So this is also a platform where we are going to show you some things about Pedometer, and questions that you have, you can answer them here on this call. So we are going to go right into it. At each point, you can drop your questions if you have. So we are going to be answering questions as we go. As the panelists are going to be answering questions, but if you have questions, drop them in the Q&A box, and then we will attend to them when the sessions are over. So we are going to start with the panel discussion where Femi and Jumoke will share their experiences with us, and then we'll go straight into the demo session where Max is going to show us a little bit about Pilometer. After that, we have the Q&A session. So again, feel free to drop your questions in the chat box, and then we are going to dive right in now. So Femi, thank you for joining the call, and thank you for participating as a panel and sharing all of your experience with us. So we are going to dive in by understanding the impacts of digital tools in pharmacy operations. So from your perspective, what are the biggest advantages pharmacies will gain from adopting digital tools into their operations?
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Onyinye, the entire drug stock learning webinar team, my co-panelists, senior colleagues, distinguished pharmacists, invitees, and other guests on the call. Thank you for taking our time to join this call. I salute you all. And I would like to specially acknowledge our pharmacists, Christine Imanioga, fondly known as Double CEO. I'm sure she's going to be on this call. That is CEO of EXE Pharmacy. So in case you don't know, EXE Pharmacy is the pharmacy where pharmacist Oluwafemi Adekunle was hatched. So that was like the bedrock where I kickstart my pharmacy career, tech career, and all of that. Today we are looking at a very significant and important topic, And Pharmacist Onyinye, I would like to first of all appreciate the way the topic was coined. Seamless digital integration, driving operational excellence and long-term growth for pharmacies. I think to simplify this entire topic, let's quickly break it down into its molecular form so we don't think we are speaking big grammar here. So by the word seamless, it simply means ideal. Just take it like that. Seamless, ideal. It doesn't mean perfect. It simply means ideal. Digital has to do with IT, tech, and computerization. Digital tools are hardware and software for digital activities. Then integration means becoming an intrinsic part of something. Operation, day-to-day activities carried out in a facility, in an organization, and so forth. Then excellence means a quality of being outstanding. The long term has to do with something relating to long period of time. And growth is a process of increasing company size, revenue, market share, and profitability over time. So in summary, we can now rephrase this entire topic to mean using the ideal digital tools as an intrinsic part of our day-to-day activity to stand out and to ensure growth over a long period of time. Underline the word over a long period of time. The essence of integrating digital tools is to ease the processes and to ensure growth in the long term. The digital tools to integrate into our day-to-day operations must serve a specific purpose that speak to your business operation. I'm just trying to lay the foundation, Pharmacist Onyinye, before we dive into the question you asked specifically, so that people can easily grasp what we are trying to talk about. So, therefore, what is ideal for business A may not be ideal for business B. Also, what is currently ideal for business A today may no longer be ideal, say, after 2 years or 3 years, because of growth. Therefore, before integrating any digital tool into your operation, you must ensure due diligence to know what area of your operation needs to be digitalized and what digital tool is available, affordable, and sustainable. Because that's actually the entire goal of ERP. ERP is a term that means enterprise resource planning. All businesses across the world, irrespective of the sector or region they are aimed at achieving ERP goal. An ERP goal of any enterprise, of any business, is to improve an organization's efficiency by streamlining business processes and managing resources. Therefore, the term seamless is a relative term and a continuous goal to aim at, meaning what seems to be seamless, what seems to be ideal today may not be ideal in the next 1 or 2 years. That's the essence of evolving. Seamless is a relative term and a continuous goal to aim at. It does not equate to being perfect, as there is no perfect system anywhere in the world, which give room for innovation and creativity. Therefore, pharmacists on board, stop looking for a perfect digital tool before you adopt one in your processes. I used to make this illustration that A business operation without digital integration is like a manual car without AC in Lagos traffic. You are constantly changing gear position, sweating and hungered by default. That means if you translate that to business, it means you are just busy with so many unnecessary things, though important, which in the long term, in the long run, may not be beneficial to the business. So therefore, as community pharmacies owner, business owners that are on board, we always advocate that you incorporate digital tools into your processes. No matter how little it is, it doesn't have to be expensive to be seamless. So going to Pharmacies Onyinye question, from my own perspective, what are some of the advantages of digital integration in pharmacy operation? I will start with improved efficiency. Efficiency simply means getting more with the least. So via automation and some processes to reduce repetitive activities within an organization, we actually foster efficiency in pharmacy operation. There are some activities in the pharmacy that we know these activities, they are repeated. Such activities can be automated. It will increase and improve efficiency. It enhances accuracy in terms of error reduction. Humans are prone to error, no matter how you try to prevent it. Human errors are inevitable. It also helps you to track data, historical data, sales data, and the likes. So using digital tools, we enhance accuracy in this perspective. Better inventory management. With the use of digital tools, you can have real-time access to your inventory so as to know when to reorder your medication, to reduce the risk of stockouts, expiry, and overstocking. It will also improve your supply chain optimization. That's one of the benefits of integrating digital tools in our day-to-day activities within the community pharmacy and other pharmacy practice. I remember back then when I worked in the hospital, if you go to the warehouse, you will see tally book in between almost all the drugs. Paracetamol, tally, chloroquine, a tally, but all of that has faded out. So if any hospital or any facility is still using that, those facilities need to integrate digital tools into their operation. And I used to tell people, advancements and improved technology is like a train. It's either you on board or you are left behind. And once you are left behind, believe me, you can go obsolete within few months and years. So we cannot but adopt the use of digital tools in our day-to-day operation. It also enhances communication and collaboration. Some hospitals have started adopting this now, whereby after the patient have seen the doctor prescribe via the system, the pharmacy receive the prescription and fulfill the order. We are also in the era of telepharmacy now, where pharmacy can consult their clients, their patients over digital tools, make recommendation, process order, and deliver to clients. These processes are readily available, and these processes are ongoing. So if you've not on board as a pharmacy and as a pharmacist, you don't have to wait any further. this is a clarion call for you to onboard because the train is not waiting for anybody. Then number 6 advantage is data analytics and insights. Any digital tool you are using and should, with few clicks, improve your decision making and predictive analysis because of the data you are able to have access to within the shortest period of time. That's one of the advantage of using digital tools. Unlike analog tools where you have to document everything in books, you have to be opening one page, what year, what month. That process is laborious.
Yeah.
Another reason is it's very cost saving in the long run. And as I've said earlier, it doesn't have to be expensive to be seamless. Regulatory compliance in terms of auditing, real-time reporting. This is one of the benefits of integrating digital tools in our day-to-day operation in the pharmacy.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Then lastly,
okay.
improve customer experience. The goal of integrating all of this is to ensure that we meet our customer needs, demand, and satisfy them. So with digital tools, we can improve on online services and personalize care to our patients. And you can also scale easily with the use of digital tools. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Femi. That was so detailed and in-depth. I like how you started with introducing the whole concept of digitization because really many people just feel like it's this really big thing, but start where you are and start with what you have. It's at the end of the day, we're looking at being able to allow the digital tools automate everything that needs automation, and then you can focus on what really matters, which is providing healthcare, providing quality healthcare experience to patients. So I heard you when you talked about the study book because that concept is thinking about it now is funny, but at the time, when during internship then we were like having to write each, and then I used to think then that like isn't there an easy process? You get, and we were grateful for the advancement of all of these operations, and we can easily like do stuff. What would have taken 2 hours, 3 hours will now take like 15 minutes tops. And then you see that you have time to plan for other things. I also heard when you talked about customer experience. I'm really happy that you said that one because initially I thought you were done. Customer experience is as it can be so much. We're not even there yet. Like there is so much to offer patients and customers with digital tools. It's like bringing healthcare directly to them so that it's a lot easier and more beneficial. Thank you so much, Femi. So now we are going to bring it home, right? Femi has talked about the advantages, and some of us know these things, but we forget because of the everyday, day-to-day operations. But now Olajumoke is going to share our own experience about how integrating digital adoption has helped us transform our own pharmacy operations. So, Farm Jumoke, please confirm you can hear me. Farm Jumoke, you're muted. Please unmute and confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, great. So I'd like you to share with us what are the ways in which digital tools, particularly Pilometer, since they are the sponsor of this one, has transformed your pharmacy's daily operations?
Thanks very much for having me. I'm saying hello to all the rest of the panelists and everybody that joined. When we first started, before we started using the Pilometer, the app we're using crashed, like 2 months before I started using the Pilometer. Before, at that time, we used to sell to people on credits. They'll pay half, and at the end of the month, they come and pay. When our app crashed, we didn't know who was owing us or how much they were owing us. Some kind people came back and they gave us some money, but I know we lost a lot of money. So we're looking for something that that app had was supposed to have an external hard disk attached to it that will save us in case it crashed. Funny enough, the external hard disk failed too. So we had no data, we had no sales record, we had nothing. And it was very frustrating at that time. So I wanted something that was cloud-based, that no matter what happens, I'll be able to get my information at any time, and the Pilometer delivered. Something again that the Pilometer did for me that I really, really liked was, or is, the Dora Insights. Every day, the Pilometer sends me a mail to tell me how much I've sold that day, how much I've sold that week, the highest top 10 high selling products, and drugs close to expiry. All these things helped in our team meetings. So easily, before we used to, the old app, we'll start checking the products one by one. The old app was divided into provisions, then the types of drugs, maybe antibiotics, things like that. So we had to be going to each section to check whether antibiotics, which one was selling more, paracetamol, which brand was selling more. It was really tedious and time wasting. But with the Pilometer, every morning I get a message that tells me all these things to be able to decide how to maybe train staff better, what to upsell, what to cross-sell, and maybe things we need to stock less of or stock more of. The Pilometer tool at a glance was showing me, or shows me, exactly what I have in stock, the things that I have in stock, and the things I don't have. So that really helped a lot in easing procurement. It was like a big game changer. The old app too, anytime I wanted to use it to reprint receipts, we couldn't reprint receipts. And we have people that we supply drugs to their parents or their aunties, and all they did was they'll send us money and we'll just go deliver. Sometimes we're not supposed to give whoever is at home receipts, but those people always wanted a copy of their receipts. So the old app, we will start getting receipts booklets. The receipt once, that was the end. With the Pilometer, you can print it to 2, 3 different people at the same time, and it'll show the same receipt, and the stock will not reduce or increase. Something I like Pilometer again, it does not do negative selling. Like the old app, let's assume we had 3 paracetamol sachets, and then somebody wanted to buy 4, and unfortunately we had 4 on the shelf. Then the cashier will be able to sell 4 paracetamol sachets, even though there were only 3 left on the system. And that was not a good thing, because one, nothing was tallying. But with the Pilometer that was not selling negative sales, it was so much better and really, really helped us a lot with that it didn't sell negative sales. Another thing was is the out of stock. Very, very easy to generate my out of stock from the Pilometer. It's just a few clicks and I can see what I need to sell, what I need to buy out of what I've already sold. Not that before we used to use a book, a paper, and start writing everything. This person will start saying, oh, did you write this? Did you not write that? But with the Pilometer, anybody can see the out of stock, just to give the procurement officer to go and buy things from anywhere. And if you are even buying from drug stock, before the drugs come, you already have your invoice, which you can easily enter. And before you start selling, you already have the things on the system. That helped a lot too. Some of our other suppliers too do that, but not everyone. But with the Pilometer, I could have gotten my stock and entered everything before time. But the most surprising thing about the Pilometer I liked was that even though we first thought that will not be able to cope with the amount of data to buy. It was so easy because the pilometer came with an MTN card, and most of the time it's just the card on the pilometer we're using to make sales. So it was not that the pilometer was consuming a lot of data, which was a big relief because nowadays everybody's trying to like reduce costs and not increase their overhead so much. So that really helped because the data on the pilometer, even though you're using it almost 24 hours, the amount of data it's consuming is so little. Only maybe if you send messages, it might increase or something, but mostly it was consuming almost nothing as compared to maybe some my friend's app that she was telling me that I don't know what was running in that app. The was consuming a lot of data. Then, whenever a pharmacist attends to somebody, before we used to use a book for clerking. Assuming the pharmacy attends to Mr. A, she'll write down everything she gave Mr. A, the complaints of Mr. A, things like that. But at the end of the day, if Mr. A comes back maybe for review or something, reading some people's handwriting was like a big headache. And you have to like start calling the pharmacist, hello, what did you write? What did you give? Sometimes they can't remember the patient's name. You start saying the man that is tall, fat, thin, yellow, black, things like that. That means you spend whether you use WhatsApp call or you use normal call, you still have to spend money to call whoever was on duty on that day, start describing the person, this one, that one, what did you give, what did he say? But with the pilometer, you just go to customer, click a button, you see everything. You don't have to call anybody. That one too was a big relief. So it saved us on our telephone expenses truly reduced because we're not calling people for most things. And another thing I like about the pilometer is the pilometer. Some people were working offline. They were working from home. Sorry. So if they don't have any business at work, they don't come. And anything we expect them or want them to do, they can do it at home. So that one was another game changer because I had a staff that I really, really liked, but then she moved far, far away because she got married. So, but I still was able to retain her because she was coming to work maybe once or twice a month. The rest was being done via Zoom or WhatsApp call or something, and she was still able to do her job. So the pilometer really helped in that. She normally entered products on the system, anything we buy. So we just send her whatever we have bought. She'll enter them. She normally came just to see maybe there's a new product that she's not used to, or whether we had team meetings and things like that. But I could keep my very good staff, although she was multitasking, but I could still keep her, even though she was coming like once or twice a month or need be a little bit more than that. And that was just thanks to the pilometer. My old app, you have to sit down and be entering everything one by one, one by one, one by one. Something about the pilometer again was when we started, Drugstore came to do stock taking, counted everything. And so it made the transition very easy. Even though we had no data before, but they came, they counted everything, and that's how we started with the pilometer. So that was another good thing I really liked about the pilometer. Because stock taking can be a big headache, and they were quite efficient. Even though we had no data at all, they were able to count everything. Everything was very okay. And I think they even products we didn't have, they still had it in their system. So maybe that was why transition was easy. We didn't have to start entering the products, new products every time. That made the pilometer use extremely easy. Then the pilometer, apart from the Dora insights, entering the products not from not in real time by somebody that is working remotely, then the pilometer helped in making sales easy. As you're entering, it is showing you whether you have 5, 6, 2 in different colors, depending on the reorder level you input into it. So even without writing out of stock, if you are the one selling, you will have noticed that, okay, this color has changed. You need to maybe write it or tell somebody or do something. So the way the pilometer was programmed, you can see the quantity of different products, different brands, just in one glance by swiping up or down, which made everything easy. My old app, yes, you see the names and there may be the brand and everything, but they were in thin lines. People like me can read the pilometer, the products on the pilometer without my glasses, which was another thing I liked about it. So the interface was really looking very, very nice. Then a lot of customers, when they first entered the shop and see the pilometer, they always wonder, what's this? We like it. Can we have it? And I'll say, no, it's just for pharmacy. I don't know if you can have it too. They just like the way it looked. Then for people with multiple branches, it's so easy because at the click of a button, you'll see if you want to see what every branch is making at the same time, you get to see the numbers, whether you can see your daily, weekly figures just at a glance. Then if you want to see what each branch is making, you just click on to see what Coca branch is making, what London branch is making, American
Right.
branch. So it makes it very, very easy. And for us, we could even have meetings to see products that was selling more in A branch than in B branch. So we were exchanging and changing products from branch A to branch E was very easy too. So it's not that you have to start pressing many, many buttons and then the headache will start. So in terms of ease of use, the pilometer is very, very easy to use. You don't have to get training by, I don't know, some professors. And when we were trained, it was like they came to train our morning session. They were the ones that got trained. When they got trained, lots of the people in evening session were not around because they couldn't make it at that time. But as time went on, the people in the morning sessions were the ones that trained the ones, every other person, because we have staffs that still come one day on, one day off. So it's the morning session people that trained everybody. And it was really easy because if somebody has a problem, I noticed that people were getting little snippets that if Mr. A didn't get it, Mr. B will get it. So by the time they all came together, everything just gelled and everything was working just fine. So in terms of learning how to use the computer, it's not so difficult at all.
Thank you so much, Famju. I know if I don't interrupt you, keep going, please. For the sake of time, thank you so much. It's amazing to hear you talk about this. I mean, I know that when we were building Pedometer, we did it with pharmacists. Like it was co-created by pharmacists because we had a pilot phase where we onboarded pharmacists and got feedback. So we implemented this feedback and we are grateful for that. And I'm grateful that the product is something that can actually achieve operational excellence for pharmacies because that's the goal, operational excellence and long-term growth. So we are happy for this seamlessness. And I also know that it couldn't have been easy starting. So I know that people on the call too have tried to use their various digital tools, but consistency is a problem. But you seem to have gotten the hang of Kilometer and you're well on your way to really scaling, and I like how you've really spoken about it. So what were the initial challenges you had at the beginning and how did your team work through them? I'm sure that it wasn't, or was it like let me hear from you. Let me hear from you.
Thank you. Initial challenge basically at first was just online, offline use of pilometer. and the data use. At first, I think that was the time MTN was having problems. So we, first of all, when we start using the kilometer, it'll be like it has frozen. But at that time, my staff hadn't gotten the hang of using the kilometer offline. Because you can use the kilometer online and get everything real time, or offline, and later everything will still go back to normal. But that was a big challenge for us, and we tried supplementing with other networks. We tried a lot of networks till we found one that was suitable for us, and after that, that problem was over. Then we had a few slow staffs that didn't catch up as fast as the others, but after some time, everybody got the hang of it.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Femi, we are coming back to you now. We know that collaboration is important, like I said, even inside within pharmacy teams. So how can what's what's what is the role of teamwork in successful digital adoption? What would you say the role of teamwork and collaboration is?
Okay, thank you very much, Pharmacist Onyinye. Just to buttress what my co-panelists just said, the role of teamwork is indispensable in every organization. And the word team, everybody know what it means. Together, everybody achieving more. And pharmacists, Omo Omeoga used to tell us then that your organization is as strong as the weakest link that you have in that team. So that stresses the critical role of teamwork in an organization. So anytime I hear the word team, the first thing that always comes to my mind is, who is the weakest link in this team? Because the weak link is like a point of entry or weakness to a team. So what do we do to ensure we support this person, support these tools to ensure the organization gets its goal or achieve its aim? A team is built gradually. It's not a spontaneous process. It's not something that just happened over time. And it may involve the use of what we call the bamboo theory. Those who understand that, it means that when you plant a bamboo, we all know what bamboo is. It takes some time for it to grow, meaning it may take some time for some staff to quickly adapt, and use some of these digital tools that we are talking about here. So bamboo theory is telling you, give these people some time, train them, give them the necessary, let's say, assignment, work to do, and just be patient with them. And there's a theory known as the Kano theory. Once you've been able to groom your team, in the Kano, everybody paddles. You play your role, I play my role. Simply because everybody knows their role and what to do as a member of the team. So we are talking about smooth digital implementation here. I would like to stress that before there's implementation, there are some steps that precedes implementation. If you listen carefully to what my fellow panelist said, he said the previous app they were using crashed, and the hard drive they were thinking they were backing up also crashed. Before you use any digital tools, before you integrate any digital tool into your processes, there are some steps that need to be followed. I will quickly highlight them. One, you have to determine your digital baseline. What is your operation? Where do you want to use that digital tool? For pharmacy operation, for supermarkets, for inventory, it depends. You have to determine that. You have to identify the gaps. What challenge or what are the challenges being faced in that units in that department or in that pharmacy, in that facility that warrant the use of a digital tool. You select a solution. That is the digital tool that suits the problem. Then there's what we call scout out or checkout. While you are trying to select digital tools, you are looking for features like backup. If anything happened just now, what will happen? Has it been test run before? And yet you get your result. We are talking of mobility. These days, most of the digital tools now, a lot of these companies are trying to ensure they are mobile. For instance, if you are using WordPress website now, you download the app on your phone from anywhere you are in the world. You can go about your transaction, receive your client's order, follow up, make a call, and all of that. Those are some of the checkouts you look for when you are trying to select the digital tool to suit the current situation. Flexibility, long-term saving costs, real-time updates, and synchronization. As I've earlier said, technology is evolving. You have to be in tune with what is happening. What is in vogue now is I have 5 facilities, 5 pharmacy outlets, and I'm currently out of the country. Can I easily, at a go, look at what is happening with my inventory, with the pharmacy, with the sales? These are the things to look out for. Then we often advocate you choose technology partner or collaborate with a digital company rather than either buying or looking for a provider. That partnership with clear terms and documentation it will give you a long-term benefit that will be cost effective. So after that, we are now talking about successful digital integration. And the role of team work in all of this include the following. 1, cross-disciplinary collaboration. This means that the pharmacy is working with the inventory is working with the IT guys, the IT guys are working with the procurement, with the website designer, and all of that. If you talk to a pharmacist about what the IT guys are doing, he or she will have like an insight into what they are doing. That's one of the roles expected of teamwork. Cross-disciplinary collaboration, not my role here is to come and dispense drug. Anything that has to do with finance, anything that has to do with the IT guys, I am not concerned. And let me stress this out, especially for young pharmacy startups like mine. Oftentimes, you play multiple roles in your business. The adoption and integration of digital tools will ease a lot of these processes for you. You may not have the large number of team to work with, but with the little you have at your disposal, you must ensure cross-disciplinary collaboration such that if you are not on ground, your staff can easily see to what you do, how you guys operate, and how you guys go about 1 or 2 things you do. 2, there must be shared vision and clear communication, meaning the objectives and goals of the company must align. We have set out that this month, this is the target. Every day, every week, we are checking, okay, are we on track? We are meant to make the sum of 5 million naira every week. Week 1, we've made just 2 million. Week 2, we've made 3 million. If the entire staff don't have this shared vision that this is where we are trying to go, this is how we intend to go there, and these are the digital tools we can use to assess, okay, this week we've not met our targets. Let's go back to the drawing board. What can we do to achieve this goal? That is one of the role of team in implementing digital tools. Training and knowledge sharing. You don't hoard knowledge. You don't hoard information away from your team. Information that they should be private to. They should have an understanding of it. You don't hoard it from your staff. You don't hoard it from your colleagues or from your subordinates. As long as you know this is an information that's going to help the smooth implementation of these digital tools. Then we talk about adaptability. Oftentimes, people don't want to change.
Yeah.
Even when the company is trying to adopt and implement, this reluctance is just by default. That's the law of inertia, the reluctance of a stationary body to move. However, the other side of inertia says, once that moving body starts moving, it becomes unstoppable except there's an external force. So the entire team must adopt and adapt to the new digital tool that is being adopted into the practice. Then change of management standpoint. Those in the field oftentimes have the rights and first-hand information to pass to the management. The management may be looking at it in one direction, but those who are facing the client, facing the patient, customer, day in, day out, listening to what they are saying, their comments, when they give feedback to the management, it can help the management to change their standpoint instead of being rigid. So meaning management should listen to what those who are on the selling floor, the feedbacks they are giving them.
Yeah.
Then it also improves patient care. I used to tell my fellow young colleagues, pharmacists now, that says you are missing out is being fulfilled by somebody online who is in tune, who is in touch with our clients. A lot of our patients don't want to leave their comfort zone these days. So we bring the service to them, we bring the products to them. So this can be enhanced through patients' facility integration via the use of digital tools in such a way that the pharmacy, the facility can easily have access, communicate, pass information to their clients, follow up, and this will help to foster patient overall well-being. I think those are some of the role of teamwork in ensuring that there's a smooth digital implementation in the pharmacy and in your facility.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Femi. I mean, I have learned a lot. I've learned about the bamboo theory and the Kano theory, and I'll add that to all the theories in my book. Thank you so much. And when you talked about digital baseline, it's really important so that even all the team members are aligned. This is where we are. This is where we are going to. When there's shared vision and everybody is, you have everybody's buy-in. When you're making decisions involving digital tools, don't just surprise it on the team. Get their buy-in and get everybody's point of view. I like how you talked about the shared vision and the cross-disciplinary collaboration. Like the accountants can offer some kind of assistance to procurement. Like there is a lot of teamwork that has to be done, and once it is really strong, your digital tools will not have any problem being integrated or being implemented. Thank you very much, Femi. So you've talked a lot about teamwork and collaboration. So I'd like to ask from Jumoke. So in your experience, could you just highlight or share specific instances where teamwork has helped resolve issues relating to digital integration, where teamwork has been very impactful? From Jumoke, please confirm you can hear me. All right, there's a poll on the screen, so we can interact with that while from Jumoke comes on.
Thank you very much. What happened? Let me see. Okay, let me choose this. normally during our team meetings, we sit down and we talk about problems, the sales, and things like that. But when we had the pilometer, it was easy to analyze things like that, like fast selling products, upselling, cross selling. Number one thing first was knowing how to use the pilometer. Like I said, morning shift was trained, the others were not trained. Before the others got trained, we were still having clashes in ideas. This Mr. A can say, oh no, this product is selling better, we should sell it with this product or that. But as we continue using the pilometer, we could see data that showed that people were buying X with Y with Z. So we should stock X and Y more than A and B. We saw things like that by using the pilometer. And the ones that got trained first, let me say this, almost everybody can use the pilometer for sales in the shop. Everybody has an account that they are they can use, and each time they use it, they get to see how other people can help them make decisions, even though they're not. Example, let me give specific examples. There was a day that I had, I can't say sick, I discovered that three people were having morning sickness, and then the fourth person was truly sick. I can't call it's morning sickness, it's not a real ailment. So, but I had to bring somebody from procurement to come and do sales for that morning till I could find other people to help them out. If she had not been trained on how to do sales, that money would have been stuck. So it was easier because the pilometer was easy to use. She could cope and do everything, even though she was not a cashier at all. But it really helped her in doing the sales. And after that, we still were able to have our meeting, even though they were not on ground. And still, people now, the ones that were supposed to be the cashiers, could now advise her on what to do and what to sell and how to sell it. So it really helped that they could view the pilometer and we could view the pilometer. So that made sales very, very, very easy. But something that the pilometer does again that I like is when we make these decisions, we can still see, as in a span of a month, what the decisions we made last month, what's the results of those decisions. So we can, even it doesn't take a month, let's just say even the following week, because the pilometer will show us if we have an increase in sales compared to something, not just that week. So making the decisions, we'll see the total sales for that week or for that day as compared to some other day, that we can all now sit down and say, okay, let's do it this way. Let's sell this. Don't let's sell this, which made the pilometer a big game changer.
Thank you very much, Jumoke. So, because we are really behind time, I'm just going to take the last set of questions now. I had a lot of questions to ask, but I don't want to keep people on the call waiting for too long because we have the kilometer demo coming up after this session. So, I'm just going to take the last set of questions now. And from Femi, please, in 3 minutes, under 3 minutes, can you share what strategies pharmacy owners can use or healthcare facility managers can use to drive long-term growth for their pharmacies or for their facilities through digital tools?
All right. Thank you very much, Pharmacist Onyinye. As the frame implies, long-term growth is a process. And because it's a process, strategies just have to be on ground to ensure that process gets to the final destination we want it to get to. And one of such is embracing automation for operational efficiency. Automation in what essence? For instance, let's bring it to real life now, community pharmacy. We have customers who are on chronic medication, who are on refill medication, life support medication, that needs to get these products on a monthly basis or on a regular basis. If you have like 30 of these clients on your database, there should be a way that you can, or there should be a digital tool that can help you to automate, for instance, sending them a message that in the next 5 days, your medication will be due for refill. And the pharmacy should also get a message that so client medication will be due for refill at a given point in time. So the pharmacy can reach out to the client. Should we proceed to get your order? And I used to tell people in pharmacy practice, community pharmacy practice, refill clients is like a revenue base for your business. Just ensure you are delivering excellence every time these products are being delivered to them. So you can automate that. Birthday messages, email, events you want to have, and all of that. Those processes can be automated. Instead of sending tests one by one, you can send bulk SMS to your clients. So we have to embrace automation.
Okay.
In terms of routine, mailing, testing, and all of that. We should improve on digital prescription management. I tell people the pharmacy profession is fast advancing. So we have facilities that when you go there now, you meet the pharmacist. Before you see the pharmacist, you pay for consultation. After consultation, the pharmacist will just send the prescription to the dispensary. Then those in the dispensary we just packed as prescribed and hand over to the patients.
Thank you so much, Femi. Thank you. All right. So last question for Famola Jumoke. We have heard from you. We are happy about your experience with your digital tools, going digital and everything that has come with it. So what advice would you give to healthcare providers, including pharmacists who are hesitant to adopt digital tools? Like, what is your final word to them? Famola Jumoke, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great.
My major advice, my only advice will be they need to adopt digital tools because it will stop you from all the mundane tasks that you can automate and make your life easier. And so you now spend your time to make bigger decisions. Not that you sit down, you start using your hand to write this, using your hand to write that, the book or paper that might get missing or get soiled and maybe you not see what is written on it. But if it's cloud-based, it will always be there. You will always see it. And making your decisions with that, you can't fail.
Thank you very much. So decision making, automation, these are really important things that we need to consider when we are still, weighing and thinking, should I not? It's important. So we keep saying this, and it's interesting that even in, I think it was September edition we had when we talked about universal health coverage and the role of pharmacies, data and digitization still found a way to creep into the conversation. So you cannot isolate digitization from healthcare. Healthcare tech is really on its way to being the next biggest thing, and we really should just join in because, like from Femi said at the beginning of the call, it's like a moving train, and if you don't join that train, you're gonna be left behind. And so this is a clarion call again to pharmacies to just get on board. Digital is what is going to make you efficient, like 10 times more efficient in the coming days. And for long-term growth, it's important that you are able to automate a lot of things so that you can plan bigger things for your pharmacy. So thank you so much to our panelists. We'll come back to you for question and answer. So like I said, if we have questions, so if there is any pharmacist in the house that you are using a digital tool and you're struggling to maybe get your team on board, just share your concerns or share your your challenges, and then our speakers can take your questions. And then we are going to go straight into the next session, which is the Pilometer demo. So we are going to have Max show us a few things in Pilometer farm. Jumoke has said a lot, and people will be wondering these things that she has said. Let us see it real life. You know, people like facts, like doubting. Okay, then we just people like facts, and we are going to present you with facts here. So this is just an example of one of the ways that Drugstock helps to empower healthcare providers generally. So Pilometer is, I think Max will say, just continue from there so that I don't say something and then he repeats it. So Max, you have the floor. You have the floor now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Rini. Yeah. So for Pilometer, I'm going to be doing a brief demo, but before I get right into it, I would just like to clear the air. Because many a times we get a lot of questions from clients and customers picking interest in, is Pilometer, is it a software, is it cloud-based, is it an ERP, or is it just a sales app? So just to clear the air, Pilometer is an AI-powered cloud-based software application, right? And it totally embodies all the three things I just mentioned. So from the ERP to your CRM, to your sales, to your management and your customer relations, Pilometer can handle all that perfectly because of the way the software was structured. So we mostly likely say it is an AI-powered operating system built and tailored for pharmacists and healthcare providers. So with that being said, I will quickly share my screen, and I'm going to start by demoing the sales app, which is also on the sales device. Give me a minute.
Okay.
So I just need you all to confirm you can see my screen.
Okay, I can see your screen, Max.
Okay, great. So I just loaded up the Pilometer sales app, and this app can be used from your mobile device, be it iOS or Android. Once you go to the App Store or the Play Store, you can easily download the sales app. And once you have an account with Pilometer, you can easily just log in by entering your email and your password. And once you're done, you are greeted with this nice looking interface. So on this interface, you can see the AI I spoke about. The Dora AI is right here at the top here. Then you can ask the AI any healthcare related questions and it gives you an instant prompt to that question. Then you also see where it says products, customer, suspended sales, and sale. So I'll be doing a brief walkthrough to that. So on products, this is where you get to see the list of all the products you have in stock. So you get to see all the products you have, and you can see for each product, you see the name of the product, the price, and the quantity available at the time. So as you can see for AFRAB, I don't know if you all are seeing the AFRAB. As you can see, AFRAB, we currently have 32 of the quantity in stock. So for the ones that are low, you also see them, but in a different color. Instead of green this time, you have Moco, you have it in an amber color, showing you that it's 2 in stock. Now going back, I'm just going to walk us through the process of making sales. So making sales with the Pilometer device or with the app is quite easy. Once you select a product and you search for that product, select the quantity the customer wishes to buy, and you click on done. Once you click on the done, there's a cart icon that just pops up at the bottom left corner. You click on that icon, it opens up the cart. So on the cart view, you can either select a customer, that is the customer that has been registered on the system. Like I said, Kilometer also handles CRM, which has a CRM which handles your patient interaction. So if you want to sell to a registered customer, you can do that. But for this purpose of this demo, I'm just going to do a random customer. So let's say a random customer walks into your pharmacy, you want to make a sale for that customer. You just select the walking customer. And once you select that option, the button at the button at the bottom that says proceed to checkout, you can click on that. And also, if the customer chooses to change his mind, like he doesn't want to buy two as a quantity anymore, you can easily just swipe and you can edit it from the cart. You can reduce the quantity. Or you can swipe the other way and decide to remove it totally from the cart. Yeah, but right now we're going to proceed to checkout. Yeah. On the checkout page, you then see the payment methods to select from. So you have the cash payment method, the card payment method, and also the other payment method which we have here. We have the transfer, check, cash and card, and transfer and cash. Okay. We have a poll coming up.
All right, so there is a poll on the screen. Let's kindly interact with the poll so that we can get some insight about the most difficult tasks to manage in your facility. I mean, if it was when I was in the community, I would select everything, but no problem. Max, are we
Yeah, so back to the demo.
okay? Yes, please.
So for the payment method, I'm going to be selecting cash as a payment method. So I click on finalize and print. For me to finalize this sales, I can then enter the cash collected from the customer. So we can see the cost
I
of this
can't see your
product.
screen. Is it just me? Please, can we see Max's screen? Okay, I can now. It was just me.
Okay, great. So as you can see, for the payment method, I selected cash, clicked on finalize and print, and this interface pops up where we see the current worth of the product, which is 120 naira, and it asks us to enter the cash collected from the customer. So let's say we collected 200 naira from the customer. The system then tells you the change to return to the customer. So you have change to return, 18 naira, and once you click on finalize and print, the sales is then created successfully. And that is how you make a sales on Kilometer. You also have the option to suspend sale. So let's say for a scenario whereby you select the product, you add the product to cart, and the customer is busy doing something else, and you still want to attend to other people waiting in line, you can easily just click on the suspend sales order at the top left corner on the screen. You can see that. I click on that, and you see sales have been suspended. So if you look at the suspended sales tab, you can see we have one sale suspended. And once I click on that sale, I see the details of that sale. And I can easily just come here, either delete it if the customer wishes not to buy anymore, or click on it and click on resume once the customer is ready. Yeah, so from the cart here, I can then proceed, select the working customer, proceed to checkout, and still make the sale. You still also have the option to still hold the order even when you have gotten to the checkout. So let's say on the checkout, the customer is still doing something else, you can still hold the order and it still comes back to suspended sales. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, one more thing I would also like to talk about, which was the location. So at the top left corner, you can see the current location we are signed into is Ogun State. You can see Ogun at the top. So if I click the drop down, okay, I have to remove this. So currently all the products showing up are products from Ogun State. But when I click on the location, I can then see other business locations which are attached to this account. So I can decide to select the Ikeja location, and product from the Ikeja location shows up and I can sell from that. Yeah. Then coming to customers. To add a customer to the system is very easy. Click on the add customer button. You enter the phone name of the customer, the mobile number, and the email of the customer. So, we have so many details to collect for the customers. But many of them are optional, but the three most important ones are the name, the phone number, and their location. Those are important details to collect from the customer. So after a customer is registered, you can easily just click on that customer, and you have this interface where you can add patient interaction to it. You can also do this from the checkout page. So let's say a customer comes to buy a product at the pharmacy, and before even buying the product, there's this little interaction or micro interaction they have with the pharmacist. Let's say they come to the pharmacy and they say, "Oh, yeah, pharmacy, I have a back pain or a neck pain or a shoulder pain, whatever pain it is." So the pharmacy on ground attending to the client or to the customer can easily just click on enter the pharmacist name and enter his or her name. Then the interaction title, which is basically the complaint from the customer, let's say neck pain, easily just type that in, neck pain. Then whatever test that was carried out or whatever micro interaction that happens, for example, you can see the option to enter the result from a weight, the weight scale, a height check, BMI, blood sugar. You also have the temperature tests results, blood pressure tests. You also have symptoms on the system. All the symptoms come preloaded on Pilometer. You can scroll through a various list of symptoms. Let's say for this, let's say I have cough as a symptom. Then you also have additional tests where you can then select the test that was carried out. So let's say we did a malaria test. You can also select the results. Is it negative? Is it positive? So all this, you can easily just capture them. And then you have the action points. The action point is basically saying, what action did you take after hearing this feedback or this complaint from a customer? Did you prescribe a drug? Did you refer them to a clinic, or did you perform other tasks? So for this now, I'm just going to select prescription. And from the prescription, I can either leave a short message here for the next time if the patient comes back to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist who attended to them isn't on seat, the next pharmacy on seat can easily refer back to this record, and attend to the customer. So I just want to enter the name of the pharmacist. I'll say pharmacist Max, although it's Tech Max. So for the purpose of this demo, please permit me to use the virtual license. So yeah, so after selecting the prescription as the action point, I can then click save and proceed to checkout. So I save that interaction. Now from here, I'm going to prescribe a drug, which is, let's say, Uniplex for cough. Yeah, and we can see Uniplex syrup. We currently have 10 in stock. So this patient is going to be buying 2. So I add that to cart. Yeah, once it's added to cart, I click on the cart. So you can see here it's showing the selected customer. It's showing John as the selected customer buying Uniplex. I can proceed to checkout. So you can also see at the checkout place, you can see what was complained about. Right underneath orders, you can see neck pain was what they complained about. Yeah, so I can select cash as the payment method. Look how much was collected, 1,000. Change to return 400, and I finalize the sale. And yeah, sales has been created successfully.
Okay, thank you so much, Max. I mean, there is so much that can be done. You know, at the point of sale or at the point of interaction, a lot goes on. That's why pharmacists are, or the pharmacy is regarded as the first point of contact for healthcare seeking communities. Like there is a lot that you can do, a lot of counseling, a lot of, clinical things that can be done when clients are right in front of you and you're recommending or counseling or doing all of that. Thank you so much, Max, for that demo. And now we'll be taking questions. If we have any question for either of the speakers, whether Max or from Jumoke or from Femi, please, we can start. Okay, I see that we have a couple of questions already on the call. All right, could you please increase the volume? I think, oh, this was a long time ago. Okay, so someone is asking, where do I start? My shop is manual or analog. Okay, so I think that, so for Pilometer, I think you can start by ordering. I think Max would answer this question. But for me, I mean, I think you can start by ordering a Pilometer. Please, can we post the link to order or to find out more about Pilometer? I know that the demo that Max did is really not everything that Pilometer does. So if you'd like to find out more, or you'd like to, see more about what Pilometer does, then you can just fill the form on the link that will be shared shortly. Yes, I think it's been shared already. Yeah, so please share it on the, okay, so please, I'd like to confirm that we can all see the link. Yes, okay, great. So Max, please, someone is asking, how do we start?
Okay, so to get started with Kilometer, so we have our onboarding process. So first of all, we fill out the form. So we reach out to you after filling out the form, and we get to do a consultation with you, get to understand your business operations and your business processes, and that will literally determine what kind of plan you'll be on Kilometer. So for example, for businesses that have multiple location, there's a certain way we onboard them. For
Yeah,
businesses that have just one location, there are certain way we onboard them. For businesses that are located outside Lagos or outside Nigeria, there are also other ways we onboard
onboarding.
them.
Thank you
So
so
the
much,
first step
Max.
through the door is filling out the form, reach out to you, we get to understand how your business work. After the consultation process, you make your down payment for the kilometer, and the rest is just history.
Okay, thank you so much, Max. And let's say again that the consultation is free, so it's like doing a clinical diagnosis for your pharmacy. And we do this for the clients we onboard because we know that, like Femi said at the beginning of the call, there isn't a pharmacy that is exactly the same as the other. Like operations are different. So do what you can where you can. And I think that's really important for like not just kilometer for any digital tool that you're going to onboard. Make sure that it's something that aligns with you and is customized for your own experience. So try to do that as well. And then I think another question here is the total cost. Okay, has this been answered live? No, okay. I think the total cost of acquiring and setting up kilometer, including ongoing cost. Okay, so to the best of my knowledge, the total cost is for hardware and software. So there is the software, there is hardware and software. For the software, it is originally supposed to be 200,000 naira, but I think is the sale still ongoing, Max? The discount still ongoing?
Yeah, I think we still have a discount ongoing for this month, the Black Friday discount. Yeah.
Okay, so you
So
can get
for next month, the discount will be over. Yeah.
all right, so we can get films at a discount. Can Max or Nolade, please, could you just share it on the screen so that I don't take time? There are some questions here. So someone says, Max, the advanced technology used in creating, okay, I don't understand this. Used in creating, okay, I think. So Max, please, I think this is for you. And while you're doing the answering the other question, someone wants to see the financial aspects of our kilometer. So we didn't do the demo for the P&L. I think we should have done that, but Max, can you do a demo of the dashboard?
Yeah, I can do that, but I'll
Okay,
quickly
so
want to
just
add
just quickly
yeah,
do that in like 4 minutes, if possible, so that we can move on.
yeah. So I
Thank you
quickly
so
want to
much.
answer the question that talks about integrating with other third-party application. Yeah, so to answer that question, because of the programming languages we use in building Kilometer, and we have an AI system involved. So for now we can't fully integrate with third-party apps like the likes of Shopkite, Store App, and the rest that many pharmacies are currently using. Yeah, that is why we usually advise we can easily migrate some of your data onto Kilometer, and you start a new journey with Kilometer for now. So
Okay, I
till
think I
when we can,
understand.
yeah,
Okay, I think I've seen the history of the conversation, so I'll just pick it up from there. So,
yeah,
anonymous attendee, I wish I knew your name so that we could follow up after this. So when we say advanced technology, it's not so much as saying other ones aren't advanced. It's the fact that because it has its own hardware and software, it is really limited. I think that's what he meant by advanced. We have our hardware and software. So it's really near impossible for you to use another software for kilometers. And that's because of syncing, right? You don't want to start having to speak with a lot of different third party third-party people for just your operating system. There are other things like digital is not just for inventory or customer relationship. There are a lot of other things that you use your digital that can be digitized in your operation. There is the suppliers inventory, suppliers management. There is, invoice management. There are lots of things. So do you want to use two products just for inventory? I mean, it's that's something that we also factored in while we were building Pilonta, because the flow should be easy for everybody. And if you're going to be having two different third party for a couple of functions, that is even more work for the pharmacist. I don't know if that answered the question. So Max, are we ready? Are we ready? And please, if someone can share the cost of Pilonta on the Q&A section while Max does this, it would be really helpful. Thank you. Max, you're good to go. You're muted in case.
Okay, great. To confirm, you can hear me now.
I can hear you. Please go on.
You can also see the screen I'm sharing.
I can see your screen. Thank you, Max.
Okay, great. So yeah, so currently I'm logged into the admin dashboard for Pilometer. So this dashboard can be accessed remotely via anywhere you are. So far you have a browser, a stable internet connection, and you type this onto your URL, admin.pilometer.com. Once you type that in, you get access to this dashboard. You log in with your email and password, and this beautiful interface opens up for you. Then on this interface, you are greeted with the general overview, which is the first page you see, that just points you directly into the daily sales insights, purchase insight, basically all the value insights of what is currently going on at your pharmacy. So this is a demo account, and from the demo we did, if you recall, we made some sales on that demo account. And the location we used for the demo account was Ogun. So currently, at the top corner here, you see where it says location is set to all. So I'm just going to filter this and select Ogun as my location. So as soon as I change the location, you can see I'm beginning to see the total sales for today that I did recently during the demo. You can see it's showing 720 Naira. And you can also see total purchase because I've not made any purchase yet. So it's still showing 0. Then you can see net value for sales. So the net value is basically sales you've done over time, within a month or within a year. You get to see that showing up over here. So scrolling down, you still have the options to see this beautiful bar chart that shows you the level or the volume of sales done by each customer registered on the system. So from this, you can see the volume, the highest volume of sales here is coming from the working customer, which are the random customers on the system. Then you can also see the month at which you've made the highest sale. So according to this chart, because of the demo account, the highest sales have just been recorded in the month of November. Then, so that is it for the general overview. So we also have the product overview, which also shows you a summary of what your products are currently doing. So on the summary page here for the product overview, you get to see the total number of products you currently have available. And you also get to see the total number of products which are soon to be out of stock. So scrolling down, I can see my product stock alert. This is an alert system on Pilometer that tells you when a product is about to finish or is going to be finished at your pharmacy. So by the time you look at this, you get to view all. So you have the view all option that takes you to a page where you get to see everything in a broken down format. Then you also see your fast selling products showing up at the left side. So on the left side, you see your fast selling product. So fast selling product basically tells you the quantity you have left for the products and the products that are selling faster at your pharmacy. So if you take a good look at this, you can see Uniplex syrup is coming up here also. So we only have 9 left for Uniplex syrup. So it was 10 before, but I sold 1, and you have 9 showing up here. So So you also have your stock expiry alerts, which also shows you an insight to when your products are soon to expire. So the way this alert is set 6 months prior to when the product is going to be expired. So it starts showing you the prediction from 6 months earlier. So you're able to make decisive decision on what to do with those products before they expire. And that is it for products overview. Then we have products where we get to make nitty-gritty changes to all our products, like if we want to edit the cost price, the selling price, the name of the product. Also want to change the location where the product is going to be available, or you even want to delete the product from the system. So this is where we do all those changes. So if I click on a product, I can see the details about that product. I have the option to edit the product here. I also scroll down, I see the product sales history, like all the frequent details about that product, how many times it has been sold to a customer, name of the customer who bought it, from the branch it was sold from. I get to see all those nitty-gritty details. Then for customers, which is a very crucial part of Pilometer, you have the option to add a customer to the system. You can filter to find a customer, and you can click through a customer. For example, I sold the product to John, and I also enter a customer interaction with John. So if I click on John, I can scroll down, I can see the product I recently sold to John. So you can see it showing up here. I click on see more. You can see today I sold the product to John, and you can see the name of the product, Uniplex, one quantity. Then I can also click on patient interaction, and it takes me to the interaction which was recorded for John. So you can see here, neck pain was recorded. You can click on see more details to get more information about this. So I can see the presenting complaint, cough, body aches. You can also see it was a prescription action. I can see what medication was purchased. Medication purchase is showing Uniplex syrup, which was what was sold for this interaction. So coming back on the same message, on the same customer's interface, you still have the option to message customers. So I have 3 types of messaging system right here. The first one is the all customers messaging system, where I get to just type in the title of the message, the body of the message, and once I click on send message, it sends a broadcast message to all the customer I have registered on Pilometer. But if I choose to send message to just a specific customer, I can just select specific clients, and then I have the option to select just John. I want to send a message to just John, and I type the title of the message and the body of the message, and once I click on send message, only John will receive this message, and he's going to receive it as a text SMS on his phone through his mobile number, which was registered on Pilometer. Then I also have the option to select specific clients with criteria. And this particular option is very important in terms of patient care management. So for example, let's say a particular criteria for sending out this message is due to a particular medication purchase. So I'm going to paint us a scenario whereby John, which we sold Uniplex syrup to, and that Uniplex syrup, I've discovered on my system on Pilometer that this product is going to be expiring in the next 10 days. And just to make sure John is aware that this product is going to expire in the next 10 days. So if he still has it in his home, he should be mindful of taking it. He should always cross-check the expiry date. So I can just select medication purchase as a criteria, and I can click on Uniplex. I can search for Uniplex on the system. And once I select Uniplex syrup, you can see the names of all the customers that have purchased this particular product, which is Uniplex, comes out on the messaging platform. I can see John is showing up here. Then I can then type the title of my message and the body of my message, which is a kind reminder to cross-check your product expiry for this certain product which was purchased in so time. And once I send out that message, every customer that has purchased this Uniplex product gets to see the message I also have the option for medical condition. So like we said, Pilometer handles the patient interaction. So I can just come here as a medical condition. I can put in cough, the cough as a medical condition. And all the patient that has this medical condition recorded for also shows up, and I can send a message tailored to just this particular criteria. And that is it for the customer section. Then we also have the purchase section, which is basically how you enter your invoice received from a supplier. So it's pretty straightforward. To do this, you just click on the add purchases, brings you to this interface where you can then select the supplier. If you don't have the supplier on the system yet, you can just click the add button and you can add the name of the supplier, all the information about the supplier. You can capture that. If it's a business or an individual, you can capture that and save it onto the system. And once it's saved onto the system, when we drop down here, you will see the supplier showing up. Then you can just select a supplier, the dates where the invoice was received. You can also select the dates, the business location where you are adding this purchase to. You can select that also. The purchase status, have you received it? Is it pending? You can select that. The payment status, have you paid for the product, or is the product not paid for yet? You can also select that also. And from here, you can just start typing. Search for the products and it comes up on the system. Search for another product on your invoice. The Emzo shows up on the system also. So you can then enter the quantity you've purchased, the cost price for the product. You can also enter that.
All right, thank you, Max. Can we go to the financial aspect that the question addressed, please? At what point, is it for the reports or in inventory? Where do we get to that point so that we answer that question and move on?
Okay, yeah. So for the financial aspects, you
Thank you
come
so
down
much.
to, yeah, I was just taking it step by step. So you come down to reports, you can then see this option of profit and loss reports. So once you click on that, it opens up this interface where you get to see your profit and loss reports for your opening stock purchase value, which is basically the purchase value of all your products you have in stock. You get to see it here. Then you also see the opening stock for your sales value, which is basically all the products you have in stock when it is sold. Should be the amount you're making. Then you can also filter this report by the months. You can also filter by months, and you can also filter by the business itself. You can filter by the business location. So you get to see the profit and loss by the location of the business and also the month you are in. Then if any expenses was made, it also captures your expenses. If there was any return of sales, it also captures the sales return. If there was any stock adjustment, for example, you adjust a stock based on expiry or damaged product, it also shows you that and at the end of the day, you get to see your gross profits and your net profit. So we also have profit breakdown, which actually breaks down the profit on each product based on the product category or based on the customer or based on the product itself. If I click on this, I get to see the profit gained from each of the product that has been sold so far. System. Yeah.
Interesting.
That is it for reports.
Okay. So, what does inventory do?
Yeah, so we skipped one, which was sales. So sales is basically, yeah, sales is basically showing you all the sales that has been done on the device, on the Pilometer sales device, or even on the mobile app. You get to see all the sales show up here. So you can filter sales, you can click on it to reprint the receipt of the sales. Scroll down, you see the option to print your invoice. Comes out of this nice looking interface. And for inventory, this is where you get to manage your stock and also your expenses for your inventory. So for your stock, you can either choose to transfer stock from point A to point B. So for pharmacies that have more than one business location, once they are managing multiple locations on the system, they can click on add stock transfer, and they can select from which branch to the other receiving branch they want to transfer a stock to. They can then type in the stock they wish to transfer. Then once they select the products, they can see the quantity they have currently remaining at this current branch, and they can just enter the quantity they want to transfer. For this, I want to transfer 2 from the Ikeja General Hospital to my own state location. I also want to set the status to transferred. And once I click on save, automatically the system removes 2 products from this particular location inventory, sends it to the Ogun State inventory. And once they synchronize on their device, it automatically pops up and it adds to the product quantity on Ogun State. Yeah.
So what does expenses do?
Yeah, so expenses basically manages the expenses incurred by the pharmacy and the pharmacy operation. So for you to enter expenses, you need to first enter the category of the expenses. You can add the category of expense. Let's say you have a subscription you pay on a monthly basis, or you have energy bills you pay on a monthly basis. You can add those categories of expenses to the system first. Then when you come to all expenses, you can then click on add expenses, select the business location which this expenses is for.
Interesting.
Then select the expense category, let's say subscription, for example. Then I can then enter the amount for the subscription. Let's say we do a monthly subscription of 5,000 naira. Yeah. So I can also select who this expenses is for. So you can add who the expenses is for. Let's say the expenses is for MTN, for Blue Network, maybe SpectraNet Network. You can select that also. Just a detailed record of what this expenses is for. So you also have the option to set the expenses that say recurring expenses. So if it's something that occurs every month and you don't want to be coming every month to keep typing and typing it again, you can just set it as a recurring expenses, and you can set the terms to this happens every month. So once a month this happens. The total amount is always 5,000 every month.
Okay,
Once you
thank you
set
so
that
much, Max.
the system automatically remove the expenses at the end of each month.
Great, thank you so much, Max. I hope this
Very well.
answers the question on the financial aspects of Pilometer. So on the question of price, I think Peter can share his screen so that the people on the call can see the various costs of Pilometer now, so that we can go on. So while that is happening, like I said, there are screens, there are some links on the call. If you check the chat box, we already put in some links that you can click on the link and reach out to get more information, or you can just order directly to order for a Pilometer device or software. And I can see that some questions have already been answered. I think the 450 discount ends tomorrow. So Drugstore generally is having a Black Friday promo this week, and Pilometer was part of the promo, the promo activity. So clients who purchase Pilometer this period, I think it's on Monday, from Monday to Friday, you can get Pilometer at all of these prices. So the software, whether it's software you want or the software and stock counts. I mean, from Olajumoke talked about the stock counts, and I know that that's a bit of a challenge for some pharmacies. So you can have that. There's a package for that, and you can have the hardware and software at a discount as well. There are discounts for all of those throughout this week. So if you want to order or you want to find out more, you can just click the link. So if you want to indicate your interest and see how you can maybe discuss with Max to hold down the price for you, I think you can have the conversation outside the call and just use the link to indicate, to schedule a session or a demo with the tech team. So if that is all the questions for now, I think we have come to the end of this session. Yeah, so thank you all for joining. Thank you for the engaging session. I'm grateful that people are interested in. I think I'm especially grateful for the person that said is manual and wanting to go, digital. That for me is, something that we should all be happy about. Going digital is just where the future is going, and we wouldn't want healthcare providers to be left behind. Like all sectors are already integrating digital. I think is it fintech? That is even what is leading everything. But we also know that healthcare is like the bedrock of everything that happens in a country. Like if a country is not healthy, everything else is, not healthy, it's unhealthy as well. So we need to find a way to start making these processes easier so that we can do what matters most for the clients. So thank you everyone for joining this call. And if you joined us towards the end, we had a panel session and then we had a demo session where Max showed us some features, and it's been such a great session so far, and I'm glad that we had this level of engagement. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks to our panelists and all our speakers from Jumoke, from Femi. Thank you so much. Thanks to Max for delivering the demo and explaining everything in great detail. I really appreciate that. So we have come to the end of this session. Thank you once again for joining, and we look forward to the next one. The next session, we are going to be doing a lot of new things with drugstore learning. So look out for new additions and exciting things that we are going to be doing for our audience. All right, then, till next month, I would say have a lovely day and keep, we are super people, healthcare providers, keep doing what you do best and keep saving the world. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.